Hey there. So with the full moon, blood moon, Virgo lunar eclipse happening in just a couple of days, I was inspired to create this video for you to not only reveal the medical astrology of the sign of Virgo. Yes, there is such a thing. It blew me away when I first learned about it back in the day. And just give you some golden nuggets or tips to work with the energies and harness the cosmic vibes, if you will. The collective energetic potential is the way I see it. And you don't have to be a Virgo to benefit, although you might obviously be feeling it more. I'm a Virgo sun, by the way. Some golden nuggets on how you can work with these energies in a more empowering and conscious way. Okay, and so if you stick with me, you're going to learn the medical astrology of Virgo, the body parts, aka the body parts associated with Virgo, and some key reflection questions, even action steps for you to be implementing during this eclipse portal. Remember, what we do during an eclipse is like putting any kind of full moon manifestation ritual or intentions on steroids. So it really can amp up your manifestation mojo. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the key themes here first. And that is, we know that Virgo's an earth sign. We know that she's all about health and healing. And we also know that she's ruled by the planet Mercury, who recently went retrograde. And so communication and your throat chakra is going to be important. Alrighty. So let's talk about some key areas that you really want to be reflecting on and focusing on for yourself. And the first one has to do with your daily routines and your health habits, right? So in terms of your daily routines, whether this is related to, your work, or if you're a soul-led biz owner like me, you might want to look at, with whatever season you're in right now, are they serving you? Do you need to tweak or refine or even let go of certain parts of your routine? Maybe you want to be getting up earlier and getting some more shiz done. Maybe you need more time to slow down and rest and do your self-care. What does that look like for you? Okay. What are you also investing your time, your energy, your resources? And I add your precious time, right? The one thing we can't never get back. What are you investing them in? And what are you consuming, not only nutritionally, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, right? Online, TV, social media, like even different communities or relationships, environment, your space. All of these pieces are so important to look at. And if something's jumping out at you as I'm talking, definitely make a note of that and ask yourself, like, again, how can I tweak, refine, or maybe you need to, maybe we've outgrown it and let go of it altogether. These are really important questions to be asking yourself and then taking the aligned action, right? And so, and by the way, if you're someone who does love kind of tuning into the moon and the sun and the stars and surfing and riding these cosmic waves like I do, not from a place of giving our power away, but from a place of, again, harnessing it for our conscious co-creation and empowerment, right? If that is you too, okay, I do have a super special, by the way, Virgo Vitality Eclipse bundle that I put together. You'll find that down below. It's on special this week only, obviously, to celebrate and, really take advantage of this portal. So anyway, I have gone into much more detail in that bundle, and if you feel called, it's down there for you. So with everything that I'm sharing here is what I'm saying, with reflection questions and more. Okay, and so the next piece that I want to really just kind of highlight, and again, oops, oh, I thought we stopped recording there for a second, that I want to highlight is that earth sign piece. Virgo is an earth sign, right? And so, the grounding and connecting with our bodies, right? Body-based awareness, somatic practices, is also going to be a very powerful thing to do to work with the Virgo vibes, alrighty? And so whether that's you get outside and, get your feet on the earth and ground, spend time with your horse, all of those things, if you can do those things, obviously all the better, okay? And then the last piece, as promised, I want to reveal to you the medical astrology associated with the sign of Virgo. And by the way, I am a Virgo sun, and when I learned this many moons ago, it really blew me away because I was born, I'm told, a colicky baby, have always had a sensitive gut my whole life. And it just so happens that the body part associated with Virgo is our gut, it's our belly, our digestion, our intestines, right? As well as the nervous system. And so this is a really, really important part of the body, whether you're a Virgo or not, right? We know that over 88% of our immunity resides in the lining of our gut, right? And there's been so many studies and research and connection to our gut, the gut mind or brain connection, to our mental health and emotional health being connected to our gut. So our gut is just, again, whether you're a Virgo or not, your gut health is so important, okay? And so that being said, we touched on the consumption piece earlier, but of course, if we want to look at our nutrition, then do we need to clean up our diet, right? That's an obvious no-brainer. Do we need to clean up our diet? But not only do we need to clean up our diet and do the best we can there, the way in which we are consuming is sometimes, I feel, as important, if not more so important, than what we are eating. So the example I like to share is years ago when I used to be kind of obsessed about like my diet, and I had actually gone through, I don't know, half a dozen different diets because of my health at that time. I had done the AB diet, the raw diet, I, for many years was trying to do the vegetarian vegan thing, the diet. And I think that is a very personal thing in terms of what feels most aligned and best for you. And by the way, if you're struggling with that, I'll give you a pro tip. Get a notebook, get a journal, and track what you eat and how you feel each day, and then over the next 24 hours, literally track what you eat and how it makes you feel. And then when you're eating, can you tune into your body and see how it is responding? And here's where the mindfulness piece and getting really present with what we're eating, which is tied into what I was saying, was, let's say you're really craving some comfort food, some pasta or something sweet, right? Can you allow yourself to eat that and enjoy it and not make yourself wrong or guilty or be ashamed or embarrassed, okay? Because I used to really punish myself when I ate things that I perceived were not healthy or good for me. And what I learned instead to do over time was to actually, yes, do my best to eat clean and green and clean up my diet. And when I'm eating something that, again, I might perceive as not so healthy or the best for me, then can I, A, really enjoy it and not slip into that guilt and that shame and that, I'm doing something wrong, self-punishment, loathing, kind self-criticism, classic Virgo personality, right? Vibe, can I instead simply give myself full permission to enjoy it and even be grateful and thankful that I'm eating or consuming or drinking that particular food or drink, right? And so I think that, again, can be an even, as important as eating as clean and green as possible, but then the way in which we're doing things is also just as important, again, if not more so. And that is my humble Virgo gut opinion, okay? And so I also have a little prayer that I will often do, and that is I will, thank my food and say, thank you, bless you, love you for nourishing my body, mind, and spirit. Feel free to borrow it. And so really slowing down and, eating, being present with your food, being grateful for your food, noticing how it makes you feel, tracking how it makes you feel over time, and then there's either muscle testing or body testing, even slowing down enough to ask yourself, when you're going to eat something, whatever it is, maybe you've got soup and maybe you've got a sweet potato, whatever it is, can you just pause? You're trying to pick, right? Can you pause and get present and drop into your body and, take a couple of deep breaths and then ask your body which one it wants and which is, and the better question is, what is in my highest good in this moment? And for the muscle testing piece, if you've ever played with that, which is something I used to do a lot in my practice and for myself with diet and supplements and all the things, actually putting it in front of your body, and I didn't bring anything here to show me. I'm going to just use this as an example. I have a glass here. So, and something, just a little pro tip here also, I wasn't planning to go into this, but I'm going to trust it. A pro tip with muscle testing, because I found there were times that I felt like, oh, it's not working, it's not accurate. Something that's really, really important is to ask if you are connected and accurate and aligned before you do it. And if you're not, to do something to reset and ground and get present before you do, because the times that it's not accurate is because you're not connected or grounded or present, if that makes sense, okay? When we're doing it really quick, or if we're emotional, or if we're attached, if we're, worried about something, the connection is not going to be clear and strong. And so you want to do what you can to regulate your nervous system, get into your body, and then do the muscle testing. But that's a conversation and maybe a training for another time. But let's say you want to know if this is good for you, and you've checked in and you know that you are connected and you're clear, okay? Then what I like to do is go head in my mind, heart, and then belly, which you can't see, and then notice, okay? And then ask in my mind, is this in my highest good for me right now? And then notice, does the body move forward, which means yes, it wants it, or does it move back, which means no, and it's away? And actually, I'm teaching, so I'm forgetting this, but normally I use my left hand because the left hand is about receiving, okay? And then do the same thing. And then you can take, do that with multiple items and then just see what your body tells you. That's a really powerful practice to get into in terms of really connecting with your body, being more present and mindful with what, again, is better for you, right? Healthier for you in your highest good. And that does not mean we have to be perfect, right? It's about progress over perfection, right? My Virgo believe you me, as a Virgo perfectionista, it's something that I have struggled with my whole life and still can slip into, but we're getting better. Okay, so quick recap. We have health, overall health and healing and well-being. We have the gut, digestion, and what are you consuming, both nutritionally as well as all the other areas we touched on. And what else? The routines, like, is your current daily routine, is that serving you? Does it need to be tweaked, refined? And yeah, I think, and then, the communication, right, with your throat chakra. Are you actually, do you feel fully expressed? Do you feel, safe and comfortable expressing your truth, and also connected to your creative flow, right? Your creative expression. So those are some important questions. If you don't, then you want to work on your throat chakra, right? Which is all about that. And so again, by the way, just a loving nudge, last reminder, if these pieces that I shared with you resonate as areas that you want to work on, whether or not you're a Virgo, whether or not you're seeing this, 5 months later and we're not, having a Virgo eclipse, okay? Time is fluid. And if you're seeing this, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, trust that your soul brought you here for a reason. Again, I want to just take a moment and tell you a wee bit more about the Virgo Vitality Eclipse Bundle that I lovingly put together, again, as a Virgo Sun, a perfectionista, recovering perfectionista. That is down below for you in the box below. And so inside I have this guidebook that I put together to, companion guidebook for you to kind of walk you through all the different components and when to use them and how. There are some powerful provocative reflection questions for you to journal on. And then I have included several of my favorite audio transmissions and a somalchemy practice for you. So the audio transmissions include my well-loved Epona's Elixir for Visceral Vitality, which is a really special magical journey that I channeled to help you heal your gut. There is the Room to Bloom, which this was actually channeled on horseback while I was riding my beloved Indigo, and it helps you to do the releasing or the letting go of process. It's really magical. And obviously infused with horse medicine. And what was the other one? I also have my Golden Dragon, a throat activation to help clear your throat chakra. And it also connects in with the sacral because those two are connected. And that's really powerful and a timeless favorite. And then the all new, at the time of this recording, somatic practice, or somasize, or what I'm now calling somalchemy, body alchemy practice, where we weave in together two of my favorite acupoints for the stomach and the large intestine. We also work with the neck area. There's a spiritual technology that comes through. It's really powerful and beautiful. And so that is something that you can come back to time and time and again to really have a body-based, soul-powered shift, okay? And yeah, it's really powerful. And the last thing I will say, what makes it unique, the whole bundle and any of my work, is that It is not only infused, as I mentioned, with the medicine of the horse, with the goddess Epona and the Room to Bloom audio, but even the Somalchemy that I do is a combination of spiritual technology, gentle guided breath work, gentle mindful micro movements or somatic work, and then ancient wisdom because of my rich background in the healing arts, Chinese medicine, Taoist teachings. I also studied Tantra for a while. So there's just a wealth of support for you in that bundle, regardless, again, of when you're finding this and whether or not you're a Virgo. I truly hope that you received value either way from today's video, and let me know how it lands for you down below. If you have any questions and anything you need will be again down below. And otherwise, thank you, if you're still here, for hitting that like button, subscribing if you haven't already. And yeah, until next time, ciao for now. May the force of horse be with you. Namaste.